They changed everything in CFB 27, and we're making sure you're ready on day one. At poodlecfb.com, we're launching our biggest Dynasty tools ever, including the new Coach Build tool and Recruit Battle Analyzer tool to help you make smarter decisions before everyone else catches up. We're building the biggest edge in the Dynasty community because in CFB 27, strategy matters more than ever. Use code HALFOFF, all lowercase, one word, before CFB 27 launches, because once it launches, it's gone for good. Be ready before your Dynasty starts. Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Poodle back with another CFB 27 video. And in today's video, I'm going to be going over the new College Football 27 ratings database that was just fully revealed over on the College Football 27 website. And real quick, guys, I figured it was better to show you rather than keep telling you, but these are in beta. Keep that in mind. These are some of the new tools that are coming to poodlecfb.com and will absolutely give you the greatest edge you've ever seen in Dynasty. You do not want to miss this, guys. It follows the actual in-game logic of unlocking, such as having to have Recruiter, Motivator, or Tactician as your first package and it being free. You can open it, see all of the tiers. You have to go in the exact order. There's Elite. And obviously there's this beta, so there's still changes once we have the official game out. You can edit your school, you can edit your name, you can see your active perks again, still in beta, still have some description things to change. You can add your pre-order bonus, you can reset the build, you can export, you can see stacking bonuses. Literally a game-changing coach build tool for you to plan out your builds. And then, guys, one of our craziest tools ever, again, still in beta, but you can add a recruit, their stars, position, archetype, their weight, their height, where they're from, so on and so forth. And then you could actually see your percentage of landing them based on it. So you could actually go ahead and add the teams you're competing against, add the interest bar that you currently see over on the game, add their visits, add their offers, add your school grades, add the visit actual interest that it shows on the screen, add your elite recruiter if you have it tier 1, 2, and 3. You can go ahead and add your NIL and so on and so forth, your hours, 80 hours, and it actually will start to change the percentage of landing them. This is still in a very heavy beta. This will be available at launch of CFB 27. Make sure to use code HALFOFF, all lowercase, one word, for 50% off any plan. You are locked in to that rate for the lifetime of your membership. Once CFB 27 launches, that deal is gone. So lock yourself into the greatest tools in the Dynasty community. Let's get into it. So as you guys know, previously they had like the top players for each team revealed. So you only had a few per team. Some teams obviously probably had nothing if they didn't have a top player in the league. But now you have everything. So there's a lot to go over here. So I'm gonna go through some of the strategies and how to use this. So I know for you guys, this is a big day. Because for anyone who's going to be playing a Dynasty, what you're doing right now is you're in your leagues or in your offline league, whatever it be, deciding what's going to be your day one team. This is a huge decision. A lot more goes into it than rosters, but rosters certainly matter. And I'm going to go through my take on this. Let's go to a team right now. As you guys can see, just so you know, you can filter by team and you can filter through. You can filter by quarterback if you want to go to a team with quarterbacks, But I'm going to go to LSU right here and let's filter through. So when you go to this, you'll see the whole roster. And this is really the best way to do it, going by team. But what's going to matter here? So when picking a team, a lot of things matter, but let me go through some of the parameters of how I'm looking at this all-inclusive ratings. If you're a guy who had, like, you come from Western Michigan and that's the school you're doing, this is an awesome day because no matter what, you're picking that school. So you want to know what the roster is. If you're an LSU fan, you're picking that school. You want to know what the roster is. But if you're a guy picking your best team right now, remember, there's a lot more that goes into a team than rosters. If you're in a short-term Dynasty, which I'm going to say 1 through 5 seasons, rosters are massive. Because for you, the biggest thing you're going to see in those 5 years are going to be how many times you won. Because even if you're trying to unlock Elite Recruiter or Talent Developer, within 5 seasons, you may end up, at bare minimum, it's going to take you to like year 2 or 3 for some of that stuff. But you may not see that till year 4, 5, or 6. So 1 through 5 seasons, rosters are going to matter, right? Take the one that matches your scheme, the quarterback that fits. But if you're going to be playing in a year 5 through 20 Dynasty, remember, roster matters a little bit less. Because guys like Jordan Seaton, you're only going to have for their freshmen, or not their freshman, but their first year, really, the first year that you're playing. Trey'Dez Green might not make it to his next year. He may go to the draft, depending on how much NIL you offer him. So these guys are just short-term rentals. You may end up going on vacation. Like, I've had guys who were top guys end up going on a vacation. I don't even get to play with them. By the time I come back, they're gone. And then it's like, what? I picked the team for this one guy. Like, Jeremiah Smith's going to be gone. So remember, the more important thing that I'm going to be doing here is going to be doing a few things. If you're in a long-term Dynasty, if you're in a short-term, like I said, go ahead, pick the roster. If you're a loyal fan, you only go with one team, pick the team. But for me, something I want to be doing here is looking at other things. Obviously, pipeline, prestige, the jerseys, the team grades, all that stuff matters. But on this specific screen, if you're trying to do a tiebreaker or trying to see some stuff, for instance, you can go to LSU and go look at quarterback, right? And if you don't have direct information on here, which you're not going to have, you can always look it up online, which is what I do if you don't know the players. But right here, it says Sam Levitt. Some players aren't in there yet. There are some opt-in stuff. There will be probably a roster update at some point, which will get you all that stuff. But something important here is going to be looking at the backups and some of the other stuff you have on the roster. So let's go to halfback. So right now, we have Caden Durham and Harlem Berry. Harlem Berry is, I believe, a sophomore now, but he's the backup to Durham, and in this game, he's so good that he could also be the starter. But these are going to be things that I'm checking out. Like, if you have Jeremiah Smith over on Ohio State, like, he's going to be gone. Who are your backup wide receivers? Do you have to be focusing on recruiting that position going forward, or are you set there? Like, for LSU, personally, I mean, the quarterbacks, they have Sam Levitt, but like behind them, from what I know in the from real life, I'm not seeing too much there where it's like, okay, I think they're going to be great for CFB, but I'm going to be definitely going through schools and sorting through to see the backups. Like, who else is on those rosters? What else do they have? A school like Indiana, while they are going to be a higher prestige team this year, does their whole roster match up with what I'm looking for? Are they top heavy? How do they look at the quarterback position? These are things that I'm going to be looking at to try to break things open in terms of my decision making on what school I'm going to be picking. Of course, I want to go LSU, but I can't pick them in every league. So I do change it up here and there. So right here, you have Josh Hoover, who's going to be the quarterback. Again, guys may be missing. But if you look through these rosters, you can click on these guys and see their full stats. Perhaps a guy like this, who you see as a backup, you go through, his throw power is an 85. He may not end up being a good throw power guy, and if you're a guy that relies on throw power or speed, this may not be your decision. So if you're taking Indiana, you may have to understand that you're going to be needing to really get a good grip on the quarterback position pretty early when recruiting. Another way to utilize this is for talent developers. So let's say a good team that I like to kind of reference here is going to be Rutgers. So let's go find Rutgers wherever they're. There they are. So Rutgers, if you were doing a small school rebuild school and you're trying to get like a good, like a competitive edge, how can I pick a small school that has like maybe good pipeline or good grades or gives me something that's going to give me an edge against the people in my league if we're doing like a 3-star and under school rebuild? If you choose Rutgers, Antoine Raymond and KJ Duff will go first round, especially if you retain them with NIL and try to hold them a little bit longer. That is 2 first rounders. That means that you'll unlock talent developer right off rip going into year 1, maybe year 2 if you retain them. So you could see here, like, okay, that's a great small school that I can get a talent developer edge on. These are things that I'm going to be using this for to try to narrow my list down. I'm going to narrow them down by like if these guys go up my pick, these are my competitive top tiers, these are my sleepers. And you could also stay on this screen and be like, okay, Missouri, Ahmad Hardy and Caden Green. That's talent developer right off rip and also super competitive day 1 to play with. And if you scroll through and look through the icons here, you'll see a few guys that are in there like, oh, okay, this team has one, like Houston, Sadre Hurst, 93 overall, another draftable player. Minnesota, Anthony Smith, 92 overall. Rutgers, that's where I found them last time. Louisville, Clev Lubin. There's plenty of sleepers. Minnesota has Greg Johnson too, so that's going to be 2 players you can get drafted first round. Louisville has 2 players you can get drafted first round. That's talent developer right off rip. That is what I'm going to be looking at outside of just rosters. Again, rosters are important. It's exciting, especially if you know you're going to that school. If you're a fan of that school, that's all that matters. But if you're a guy that's looking for the best competitive edge, rosters, obviously, they come and they go. Now, remember, winning is one of the biggest ways to grow a program. So, of course, if you want a year 1 edge, just kind of like have a great year, make the playoffs, and go up with prestige, and then get your dynasty points increased and kind of get that rolling, that matters too. Because a school example that I'll use from previous years is USC going into last year did not have the greatest roster before the updates. So I remember USC had a 4-star, they had a great pipeline, they had great campus lifestyle, they had great academic prestige, they had all the tools, but their roster wasn't great compared to some of the other 4-stars. So I ended up going to that season, and it's harder to win with them. And if you start going backwards with them, it doesn't matter if you have all that other stuff, you can't win. So remember what kind of player you are and what you need. So if you need an elite roster, go for it. But roster for me, I don't always look at the current players. I look at like the totality of it, because again, these guys aren't staying very long. If you end up playing 15, 20 years and you go through 8, 10 months with this team, you're not going to remember Jeremiah Smith from that 1 week in July, those 3 weeks in July. You're going to have 18 more recruits since that play wide receiver 1 for you. But that's basically how I'm looking at this. I'm looking at it from a competitive advantage. I'm looking at it from a future of the program. Like I said, Caden Durham's my starter. Harlem Berry will spell him, but I know that that's the future of my program. I'm checking out I'm looking up online on Google or AI, some freshmen for the team and seeing what their ratings are on here, or some sophomores, see if they're going to be growing well enough for me. Are they young enough to really be the backups, or are they almost seniors? All this stuff matters, especially if you don't really know the school, the roster, or what the team comes with. But guys, better for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to check this out. I did tweet out the link, so if you don't follow me on Twitter, go follow me over there. I've been dropping a lot of heat for you guys over on Twitter. Go check it out, guys. Make sure to subscribe. Comment down below if you have anything you want to add, anything else you need, and don't forget to turn that noti bell. We're about to be in the season, guys. We're days away from college football content, the new game dropping, and just a lot of content on this channel. So make sure to go check it out. And don't forget, poodlecfb.com. We're gonna have everything active the moment the game goes live for the MVP edition, which is July 2nd. So you're going to want to be there, guys. All of our tools, our coach build tool is getting a massive update today. If you haven't already, if you're a member already, go check it out. If you're not a member, make sure to sign up, guys. We are days away from code half off being gone for good. Lowercase, one word, code half off. If you're not already signed up, you're going to miss out. You're going to get some FOMO. And if you have some FOMO, the code's gone. So go check it out, guys. I'm out. Peace.